I'm just going to be brutally honest with you guys. After this video, you're probably not going to want to move to Albuquerque because there's a few things that I'm fed up with. And let, let's just get right into it, guys. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. My name is Eli, and if this is your first time tuning into the Living Albuquerque channel, you're going to want to hit the subscribe and notification bell down at the bottom. That way you guys never miss out on any videos, because I am dropping videos every week talking about what Albuquerque has to offer and all the great stuff that we do have to offer, and sometimes negative, right? So in today's video, we're going to be going over a few things that you might want to reconsider if you are thinking about moving down here. And if you are thinking about moving down here, aside from doing these rate videos, I am also a licensed broker here in the state of New Mexico. So that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. Feel free to reach out, screenshot it, write it down, do whatever it is that you got to do. That way we can hop on a quick Zoom call, talk about that move, talk about what you're gonna need to do before you move down here, and also talk about all these different areas that just got me fed up. Let's get right into it, guys. Talking about Uptown, and this area, I really don't like that it's always super busy. You're looking at three of the major shopping centers like Coronado, Uptown, and Windrock, which right now is going under a facelift, and they also are building more apartment complexes, condos, and not any more homes, right? So that's a downfall. That's kind of not, one of the reasons why I don't like that part of town either, is because the availability of homes is scarce. So you're gonna pay a little bit more, right? That price tag up in that part of town is around 328 grand. So it is a little bit more pricey for a home that isn't super modern. You got all these old school features that you're going to be looking at, and some of the homes that have been updated up there, they've done a good job. So nothing totally against that side of town, but really if you're looking to move to a place where it's a little bit more hustle and bustle, you're kind of that city vibe kind of going on, and you want to be in the action, you want to be close to the state fairgrounds, and you also want to be close to a ton of shopping, Uptown is going to be an area that you consider, because you're going to have all of that within arm's length of reach. The public transportation in that area, it runs all along there. They got, a major bus stop right next to the Coronado Mall, where the art bus station's at for a little bit to kind of clean up and do that stuff, and get some transits off the bus to make sure that, we're in the clear. We're kind of regrouping and taking a break and all that stuff. So big major transportation, ton of shopping. I mean, you got it all up there, from Coronado having all the Foot Lockers, kind of like the JCPenney's and all that stuff, and then Uptown having like Michael Kors, Apple, all the bougie kind of shopping. And then you have Windrock, which is going to be a little bit more bougier in my opinion, especially because they're surrounding it around the idea of an outdoor shopping center, and they're going to have a big pond, or pond, I guess you can have a lake there because it'd be too small, but a pond in the area with a nice bridge and all these water features all around it. This next area, guys, is gonna be filled with one-lane roads, farmland, and this old school kind of small town vibe, right? And we're really talking about the North Valley, where in a sense it's kind of two different areas. You got like the North Valley kind of area, and then you got Los Ranchos, where it gets even worse in that old school kind of mindset. Really, these houses down there are gonna be massive. They're gonna be huge. You're talking about old farms, old ranches, and that kind of deal, where it really caters to like the equestrian kind of community, because they have equestrian trails, schools, and all that stuff down there if you want to learn how to ride horses and stuff. But really, what I dislike about this side of town is going to be that it's old, for one. So a lot of the buildings down there are just going to be that Southwest Adobe style. Still, you get these homes where people have built custom, elaborate homes, and kind of revitalize some of these areas to make it a lot more modern. So unless you like that old school character, you're like, man, I love that Southwest style. I personally don't, but you might, and this might kind of cater to you, especially if you are looking to live in a place that has a bunch of walking trails, it's close to the bosque, and you like co-ops and farmers markets and all that stuff, kind of slow down living. This might be an area that you want to consider. Now, be aware that you are going to pay a hefty price tag. This area alone, the average price on a home is over $500,000. You're ready to pay that, by all means, let's hop on a quick call. Again, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line, and I'd love to direct you to some pockets within those areas, in those neighborhoods, where you don't have to pay that hefty price tag, and you can still get all the amenity, all the prosperity of living down in the North Valley. I'm not too sure if you guys even want to consider this place unless you're, going to college. And Nob Hill is going to be one of those areas that really caters to the college people. A lot of the places around there are older, so to say, and there's a lot to do in that area, and more places stay open for longer, right, throughout the night, because they want to make sure that they can cater to the vibe down there. And personally, I don't feel like I belong because I be in bed before 10 kind of thing. Really, for you younger folks or older folks that want to be within all the kind of like nice restaurants, want to get down with some burgers, or you just want to get a good bite to eat, you want to consider this area because it's going to cater to all that, and it's all going to be within a walking distance from you guys. It's really going to be down the street. It runs up and down Central. Also are going to be close to downtown, which has more of those types of amenities for you guys. So really hop, skip, and a jump down from all the action. And this is going to be different than Uptown, right? Uptown has all the shopping, all that kind of entertainment theme. This is going to be a little bit more nightclubs, low-key eating, fancier restaurants, all that kind of stuff. So keep in mind that you are going to live in a neighborhood where there's always something going on. And if noise doesn't bother you, and you kind of like that road noise, you like hearing people, commingling with each other, this is going to be an area that you want to live in, especially if you are that person who just enjoys being very social, wants to be out talking to people and just kind of walking up and down the streets to see, what you can get into. So keep in mind that being close to the college, there's going to be just a cauldron of people that come from all over the place too. The neighborhoods in these areas are going to be a little bit older, so you are going to pay a heftier price tag. You can find something under $400,000, but really it's not going to be a house. It's going to be more of a condo. And yeah, believe it or not, condos get expensive up there. But you're getting this nice view, you're getting, amenities all around you, and really the small local shops are going to be in that area as well. So if you enjoy local shopping, this might be something you want to consider. Man, I gotta tell you, this side, I despise it. Even though I live on this side, the west side, guys, is just gonna be a nightmare. Really, when you're thinking about the west side, you're thinking about crossing the river, and in those high points of traffic, I really hate this. There's just gonna be traffic for whatever reason. They must put stop signs on the freeway, really, honestly, because people just be stopping out of nowhere. And really, this side of town, if you're looking to move to this side of town and you don't mind the traffic, it's gonna be more family oriented. There's gonna be master plan communities on this side of town. So you are gonna have HOAs, places with pools, clean communities and all that stuff on this side of town. And you all are also gonna have more parks, more things to do, and then kind of like a 50-50 of being in desert and, enjoying the bosque as well, just because some of these pockets in these areas, just you get to enjoy best of both worlds. There is a lot more availability of homes on this side of town. You got older and you got brand new homes that have all the trendy styles and all the trendy vibes, with the raised ceilings, laminate floors throughout the house. Really, to see carpet in a home is just going to be one of those things that you understand that, number one, either the people want it or they've asked for it, or, kind of a budget home. Really, to keep that in mind. On this side of town, there is going to be 55 plus communities, so you can see that the trend here that more people are moving to this side of town to just kind of call home. Just really establish themselves, because right now it's still pretty affordable. You can find houses under the 400s, and really the new homes start in the mid to high 400s because they're offering so much, right? All the vaulted ceilings, granite countertops, everything that you would move into a resale home and do and spend, 20 to 30 grand. Newer homes already have all of that as a standard package. So, weigh out your options, right? And we can talk about it when we get on the call, guys, really. Now I gotta put in the best for last, and it's the place that I hate the least to say, because this is my side of town, right? This is kind of where I call home. Even though I live on the west side, majority of our family still lives in the South Valley. And in the South Valley, you can find yourself in a cauldron of culture. It's very diverse, and the reason is because it's still pretty affordable. On that side of town, you can find a home under $300,000. We just sold a home by 86 in Tower, and we sold it at 270, right? We had it listed at 285, which was still under 300,000, but the buyers that came in really offered us a really great deal. So the sellers just jumped all over it, because in the state of the market right now, things are sitting a little bit longer. And if you price a home under 250, which there's a ton of homes on that side of town under 250, they're gone within hours because it's still very affordable, right? And maybe that's not why I hate it. Maybe I hate it more so less because it doesn't get the attention that it deserves or the credit that it deserves, because a ton of people are moving to that side of town and making it, more of an up and coming area, or getting more developers that are building shopping centers, movie theaters, all this stuff along cores. And then of course, the more south you go, you're going to see more ranches and farms and land. Now, keep in mind that when you buy land down there, you are going to pay a hefty penny, an average about 150 per acre. Yeah, 150 grand per acre. And sometimes you may get lucky, you may get water rights, a well, and electricity on the property. Just really depending where you're looking at and how developed the neighborhood is, you might get all of that with the land that you're getting. Because what I'm starting to see is a trend that people had the intentions of building and doing these great things up there, but then life shifted, things changed, and plans changed, and they had to move towards the west side. They bought a brand new home, or they moved to Rio Rancho altogether, or out of the state, right? But really, on this side of town, you could even still purchase a brand new home. You have D.R. Horton that's building the Aspire neighborhood up there off of 118th Street, and those homes start around in the 330s, and they are selling super fast. Get it while you can, guys. And if there's anything that I hate about this side of town, is that number one, it doesn't get the credit that it deserves, and sometimes your neighbors might have a cow in the backyard because they really mix use the areas. And in a well-developed area, it butts up to an older established community that the neighbor has a bunch of acreage and a bunch of land, and the neighbors might have farm animals on the property. So keep that in mind. But if it doesn't bother you and you enjoy that, go ahead. Let's get on a call. Let's get you down there. All right, guys. Now, I talked about a few different things, and really some of these things might make you want to move. It might veer you off to a different area. But whatever the case is, guys, I'd love to make sure that you get well educated. And again, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. I do answer all the calls, texts, and emails. So if you are wondering, like, hey, Eli, I like this area, I like what you said about this area, but I'm really thinking about this area, especially since you don't like this, but I like that, really kind of that conversation there. And we can really get into the weeds and talk about what it's going to take to get you down to these areas. But other than that, guys, I really enjoyed doing this video for you guys. Until the next time, I'm going to go enjoy the rest of my day. You guys have a good one. Peace.